All right, well, let's go from here. So, Mr. Darwin Clarke, welcome again. Welcome back to this platform, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on. You always bring so much insight, so much information, a wide and diverse um, group set of information that that can help with the listeners out there, watchers, as we would put it, the viewers. And I'm really happy to have you on again. One of our best guests, that I've had on the show. So welcome back
Thank,
again, man.
Thanks for having me, sir. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a period of time that I'm really enjoying myself here. I'm just happy on top of the world right now.
That's very good. I'm happy to hear that. I'm
Oh
happy to hear
yeah,
it.
yes sir. So let's dive right into just what you've been up to.
Well, not a whole lot, as far as the horses are concerned. Right now, I don't have anything running. Got a couple of babies. A couple of the other horses have problems. And just working. I always say just working and concentrating on breeding right now. But not a whole lot. I mean, I'm feeling bad. I should have some pictures of the foals so you can post them. But I'm not a forward thinker, so maybe that's a problem. But we can get that. But yeah, just getting ready for next year, and seeing some babies, seeing the weanlings turn yearlings, and going to that. A couple of my friends that bought a couple of yearlings at the recent Keeneland show. Derek Lynch, he has a nice colt by I want to say by Power Broker, and then I don't remember the breeding of the other filly that those guys acquired. But those are horses for U.S. Probably around the New York circuit.
Wow. Now, going back to, you say you don't have anything running. You don't have anything running in Barbados or in Canada or anywhere?
No, well, don't forget, I had a baby that broke his leg, the 2-year-old, and then the 3-year-old, I gave him a year off. I think he had some minor issues at the back end of the season last year, so felt it was wise to give him a year off and let him come back next spring, and he should be a better horse.
I mean, during this period of time when you have no horses running, what are you do? How are you spending your time?
Probably eating and getting too fat, but that's about it. I think we had Jockey. She made a comeback, but then she has a splint that's we can't seem to get managed. So I'll give her some more time off. Maybe bring her back early next year and see if we can get it figured out. But I think she has something going on behind also. So we'll try to get it all straightened out and bring her back next year. So it's just basically that, just hanging out. I don't watch a whole lot of races. I
No.
mean, I'll start with the night with Australia and then fall asleep, and then early morning probably some international racing, France and Great Britain. Yeah, but just that.
Wow, man. Australian racing, is for me. I try to get into it a bit because it usually pops up when I have my free time.
Right.
Because during the day I'm so damn busy, so it pops up when I got my free time. But I just can't get into it like I would like to, and it's quite difficult because the angles are always peculiar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
It's
to have
nothing
big
really.
fields is it's hard to find your favorite horse and to follow that horse because the fields are so large and yeah, and there's a lot of tracks, man. I mean, oh my
Oh
god,
my God.
you can
Yeah.
watch them all night. But I mean, I'm still in contact with my circle, Rocco, Tishan, Derek, yeah, it's just my main circle. So those are the ones that, I speak to one or two of those guys every day. So I'm still in the loop, but not having a horse running is kind of, yeah, is a little daunting to keep up with everything in Barbados. But I try. But not sure if we're gonna have a horse for the Cockspur. Not the Cockspur. Oh my God, you got to beat that for the Sandy
You're
Lane Gold
dating
Cup.
yourself there.
Yeah, I did. The Sandy Lane. Might explore the possibility of bringing Vividly back because she's not in fall, so she may come back. We'll see. She had a hawk issue that
Mhm.
sidelined her, but so we might bring her back. We'll see. And what else? Yeah, Jockey may come back too. But as far as acquiring a horse from North America, that's going to be challenging. Is already end of September, and I haven't spotted a horse yet. And by now, I'll have 3 or 4 horses that I'm following. But so we may miss, with an added horse, we may miss that this year. But there's still a little time.
What's the challenging part about? You said it'd be a little bit challenging to bring a horse from North America. What's challenging about bringing a horse from North America to Barbados?
Well, I mean, it's not. Okay, I'll tell you what I like to do. I like to follow the horses over the course of the season, whether they're running above my budget or not. I still like to follow. And okay, I will like that. And if that horse happens to come in my price range, then we'll acquire it that way. So that's what I'm saying is challenging. So by now, I would have 4 or 5 horses identify that okay, one of these I would love to take to Barbados. And then I heard from a couple of guys that the shipping prices have gone up. So it's not. I mean, you can get a horse to Barbados before about 7,500, 8,000, but I think the price of travel has gone up. And I think it went up quite a bit. I mean,
Yeah. So I guess I can see how challenging that could become then, because I guess there's a lot of things that come into play with shipping a horse out from anywhere, actually.
yeah. And if you recall, like last year, this time we had Pat Sewing Machine identify as our horse going. And, he finished, his season in Canada, and we shipped him over. And even that was a tight schedule. I think he ran up until December, I want to say. And we shipped him, and it was still push, push, hurry, hurry, hurry. And that's not good.
Right.
Yeah, we may still get lucky. We might jump in a pool and see what's going on. But as of right now, it's looking slim.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Now, have you been following Rocco and seeing what he's been up to?
Of course, yeah. When did I speak to him? Oh, yesterday maybe. But I know he was in Churchill. I called him after Churchill. Um, where else he's been? He's been Mahoning, I think. Yeah, I still kind of follow. Not, I don't want to say aggressive, but not as aggressive. I say it's maybe the right word. But I still kind of keep my ear to the ground. But I'm not, every day. I used to watch him every day. And even to Sean, I tried to capture his rides when he's riding. Then, speaking of Sean, I heard the little husband's kid is going to Florida to ride. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard through the grapevines he's gonna ride in a race down there, a stakes or
I think
something.
he's riding. I think he's riding 3 races. I think he's going permanent, Derek. I mean,
Oh, well,
correct me if I'm
that's
wrong,
really
but
nice.
yeah, I think he's going permanent. Yeah, that's a
Permanent
rumor.
from, but permanent meaning that he's leaving. I guess Woodbine earlier.
Yeah, I mean he's riding this weekend.
But if that's permanent, that's a big move. I'm happy for him, actually.
Yeah, but if he's going to ride for Safi, I mean that's a good move. You can't go wrong in my opinion.
That's also going to be nice for Woodbine too. Well, I wouldn't say nice. I mean, there's a lot of jockeys that will probably welcome that because
Yeah.
there's not a lot of apprentices knocking
Yes,
around.
you get that bug boy out of there.
That's right, taking up
But
all the mounts.
he's a very talented rider, so I'm sure he will win a lot of races there. He's going to put some pressure on my guy, to Sean, but
Hmm.
I'll probably make him better.
Yeah, I was talking to him a little bit earlier. I think on the weekend or last week or something. So it's quite interesting hearing his story. I'm going to try to get him on and let him speak for himself. I don't want to speak out of term or
Yeah.
say things that that I probably don't have
Shouldn't be
anything.
saying.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like I don't want to say those kind of things because that won't be right. You know what I mean.
yeah.
So I'll leave that for him. But
But I
I'm
mean,
happy for him.
yeah, he has a lot of stuff in place. He's won some races. He's over 20% rider, and he can work in the U.S. legally. So I mean, with those things, he can go to a different track if that's what it takes, or he can stay there. I mean, he has options. So it's always good to
Yeah.
have options.
You know, I'm really happy. I don't want to talk too much about him completely yet, but just because he's the topic right now is that I remember there were lots of comments on him when he made the move and so forth. But mainly people fans in Barbados who were giving Safi a hard time and questioning Tashawn's move and stuff like that. But you know. It, sometimes people just don't understand. These are some big ball moves.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
you
to
know,
move from Barbados to go ride for Safi, I mean, even if you're riding one a month, it's going to be a good horse, a live horse, and you have the opportunity. I mean, Barbados. I mean, he won the apprentice title and the riders title in the same year. It's time to move. You know,
yeah, yeah,
leave while you're informed. And it's not to say
definitely.
he's here to prove something. He's here to make a living. He's here to have a career. So sometimes you got to start at the bottom again. I mean, you have to start over, but the opportunity is there.
How I always look at it, Darwin. I always look on the bigger picture overall, internationally, and we're both from Barbados, and our biggest stars, I mean, except for Rihanna, really, and who are some of the old ones, Garfi, Sobers, those kind of people. But I mean, our biggest stars are still not on top of their sport,
Right.
compared to the rest of the world. So that's how I see, and that's how I break it down. With the jockeys and so forth. They're good and they're talented, but they still have to compete amongst
Yeah.
the
I
other
mean,
people. So
the
that's
only
how I
one you
see
can
it, man.
say is Patrick. Patrick was exceptional, but he's. I don't want to say he's in the twilight of his career, but I'm sure he's getting up there. But yeah, we need another one or two or three, to carry that torch. When I said like top elite riders, that's what we need. Because we have a lot
Yeah,
of kids that win a lot of races, but to find that, one in a million kind of stuff, champion rider for a number of years. I mean, Rocco have done it to a certain level, but he's not at Patrick's level yet. He hasn't had the accomplishments.
but you know what you're gonna do right now. You're just gonna make Rocco just go into a mode where he's gonna try to prove you wrong. Now, He-
Hey, people lie, but facts don't lie, So if you did a survey and asked, who's the best rider out of Barbados, I'm sure Patrick is probably number one on most people's list. I'm not talking about talent. I'm just talking about accomplishments now.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he's probably best in the whole Caribbean.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
if
no
you
one
want
has
to put it
done
that
what.
way,
Yeah, like I said before, it's like when I was a kid, I was hoping to meet, a champion rider, top rider. And little did I know that, we had one riding in Barbados. You just haven't reached that plateaus yet.
all
But
right.
so no, I don't. I can check that off my bucket list. I don't need to do that.
Oh man, hey, I guess you never go back to your days of writing. You just kind of like skip over that, or how do you
Yeah, I
view
mean,
those days?
when I go back to my days of writing, I can't believe I was a writer to start with because I was so tall, and I see pictures and I'm like, oh my god. But I was a decent writer. But these kids now, they have an opportunity to be so much better. I mean, like Patrick is the yardstick. So that's who you want to be. You want to be better than him. I mean, we had good writers, Ricky. We had some really good writers. So I'm not knocking anyone, but like I said, based on accomplishments, yeah, Patrick would be the goalpost right now.
Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of those writers, are you paying attention to any of the other new writers? I mean, I pay attention to like Sachin Paris. I see Rashid Hughes down there in Alberta now, and I kind of follow Kyle Carter. Those guys. I look to see how they're doing. I mean, again, the same thing. There's some guys who, for whatever reason, they have either good agents or whatever, but they seem to pick up some really good mounts down there, and they're doing pretty good down there in the prairies.
Yeah,
Are
we
you
have
paying attention?
talented. We have. I don't pay a lot of attention. I mean, when I sometimes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll watch Assiniboia, but not on a regular basis because my drill is pretty set once I hit the house. With wife time, take care of her, conversations with her. And then horse racing would be in the back of that. But I don't have a lot of time to really follow. But yeah, Rashida here is doing well. Um, I'm not sure about the kid at Assiniboia, the one that he does well every year. His name
Uh,
escapes me right now.
what's his name?
Antonio
Antonio.
Whitehall, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how good he's doing this year, but because not having horses there, I wasn't
Hmm.
really following that hardcore. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Go ahead.
I trust they're doing well. I mean, I hope they're doing well. I heard Rashid won some races. Yeah, so I think the boys are doing good. I think that's his first year back. I think it was there before, so next year might be a whole lot better for him. So he'll probably go home and winter well and be back up. But yeah, he's another talented rider. But it's just
Yeah.
opportunity.
Well, there's the pool is pretty big, but there's lots of riders out there who are always on top of the game, even at the big track. So those guys, they're always going to be very competitive. But I was speaking to one of the jockeys the other day. I was saying, I believe so strongly more than ever that the relationships are so important in horse racing.
Yeah,
And so when that starts to form, you start to see things go a lot better. You
yeah,
know.
they're very important. I mean, really, really important. I try to express that to all the young kids, the ones that I talk to and stuff like that, and try to get them to understand they have to cement those relationships. But some of them are hard headed, as we'll say in Barbados. So it takes them a long time to acknowledge, that someone that's been in the sport for 40 years may know something, or may have been there before. So some of them have to learn the hard way, and it's unfortunate. I was talking to a young kid because he wanted to race and he was celebrating. And I told him, I said, look, you have all night to celebrate,
Hmm.
all week, all however long you want to take your celebration. Just don't do it on horseback.
Right.
And I understand that fire's in you. You might want to do whatever. Then a couple of weeks later, another kid won a race, and he is standing half in a stretch. He's beating his chest and goes around the top turn and he falls.
Wow.
Yeah, and I called the kid and I said, okay, I know you didn't agree with me with not celebrating, but this is why you don't celebrate. And I mean, it could be worse. The horse could have done something between him standing up and the winning pole. He fell, or fall, I should say. And, the owner loses, trainer, everyone loses. And, it's not a good thing. But
Wow.
some kids have to learn the hard way. And it's sad and unfortunate. I mean, you can listen to an adult, and I think in this instance, I use myself as an example. I won a race in Martinique by the stretch, and I was standing up, fist pump, doing all this, and during what should have been a really celebratory time, the trainer says, "That was awful. What were you thinking?" And he is just undressing me. Yeah, I was like, "Oh my god." After the race, he sat me down. He spoke to me about it again, and expressed, how dangerous it was to do that, you know.
Hmm.
And from that time till now, it's like celebrate after you pass the pole if you want, you know, at home at night with your friends, do whatever, but not during the horse race. It's inappropriate.
I guess. I guess the emotion in some races, you see some guys do a little bit of celebrating, but it's not too harsh as, to
Yeah, a
rub
little
it in really.
fist bump under, yeah, something like that is cool. I'm not telling them how to celebrate. Just don't stand tall on the horse, punch the air and all that. It's not necessary. I understand the passion. I understand all of that, but I'm just saying, if you want to be a professional, it's not appropriate.
I feel like your criticism is very necessary because I hear it a lot from Rocco. We have conversations quite often, and I feel like it's sometimes some people think your words might be a little bit too harsh. But do you take back any of those words, or you just say, "Look, you got to learn," or you're going to get left behind? For example, when we had a conversation last year, and you had slightly criticized the Cadejah in Barbados. You know, I met her and we had a good conversation, and I thought we were going to do an interview, but I think she ghosted me, and
Okay.
and I'm just wondering, do you think that words like that to her, I thought it would motivate her, but the feedback I got also was that she took it to heart or something. Some of the things that you had said, I didn't
Like
think
I
it was
said,
that bad.
if those are the facts, if what I said was true, she's the only one who can fix it. And if she wants to run and hide versus taking care of the behaviors, then she can run and hide. I don't have a dog in the fight. I don't even know the person. And then the people that associate with me, when I come down on them hard, they accept it. They might take a week or two to come around, but they accept it. But I'm not gonna lie to my friends and say, hey, everything is rosy. I mean, that's not who I am. I would never do that. If one of my friends is doing something stupid, I would tell him, hey, what you doing is stupid. If he doesn't want to be my friend anymore, like we said, I was born alone, I'll die alone. So he obviously not my friend. I wouldn't do it in a rude setting. I would just. But yeah, I mean, if you want to be a writer, do what's appropriate. Take care of yourself, take care of your weight, have some decency, have some good deportment. I mean, do your thing and do it well because people are always watching. I mean, especially now, everyone has a camera. Everybody's watching, everybody's recording. So, and then be a steward of the racing game. It's your racing. Take care of it. Guard it with your life because it's what you do for a living. You know, I mean, I'm not gonna do something to jeopardize horse ownership anywhere in the world, Barbados, wherever. I'm not gonna do that because I want the sport to grow. So
No,
I'm surprised that she took it that way. I mean, I was just reporting the news.
I mean, the news was reported to me that she took it kind of hard. Now, the facts, I really don't have the facts because I haven't spoken to her since. I mean, we communicated in Barbados, and we were planning on doing something, but since then, I think kind of gone missing. But that's okay. Um, I still will be have an open door for her, and I still will look for her when I go to Barbados. So sometimes it's like that. I think that Barbados is pretty small, so I think sometimes we are a bit sheltered, and I think sometimes some the truth needs to be told. And people need to tell people exactly how things are, and don't sugarcoat it and hide things from people. So uh, I got no problem with that. You know.
Well, I know that my circle, they don't sugarcoat stuff, and I don't sugarcoat stuff either. I mean, we're brutally honest with each other, whether we think you should put a horse in this race or not run him or whatever. I mean, we sit down, we keep it real. And I'll give you a perfect example. The last time Jockey raced, she was rearing up and doing all this crazy stuff, and she got loaded in and whatever. But I was so irritated. And then, I said, look, the horse is telling you she doesn't want to run. Why did you run the horse? Withdraw the horse. She's using up all that energy. She's this, she's that. She's telling you something is wrong. You know? So, I mean, stuff like that should not happen. I shouldn't have to reiterate that to anyone. You know, when it comes to one of my horses, if they don't want to load the this to that, scratch the horse. There's something wrong. You know, that's my opinion, and that's how I live. And I would say the same way I try to help the lady because I thought that's what I was doing. I mean, people can tell me the same thing, you know. But if the difference is that I will have an open dialogue about it. I would say, okay, well, give me a call and let's talk about it. Let me see your side. Because, you know, there's three sides to every story, Derek, right? There's your side, there's my side, and the truth. So if you and I have a discussion on anything, you know, we can come up with the truth. Or come up with a viable plan to fix it, whatever it is. But, yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is that, you know, these are just rumors because I haven't spoken to her since March or something. And, you know, that I have to rely on other people's words, right? That people tell me things,
Right.
for whatever reason, right? So anyways, that's how it goes. And you know, I'm looking forward to speaking with her because I thought she would be interesting, like you said. I remember you were saying that, as I recall, like do like any other female and kick down the doors,
Right.
and I thought that was very interesting. I thought those were some very inspiring words for me. At least that's how I would take it, you know.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, look at American on the election. There's another woman running for president. That's what she's doing. She's kicking down doors, you know, because you have to. If you're waiting for the door to open and people to take care of you and do this, I mean, there was another kid. I was talking to him through Chris Ashby's program, Next Gen Writers, and he was, you know, complaining, oh, nobody gives me a ride and this and that. And I told him, I was like, dude, you have to make it happen for yourself. Nobody is obligated to give you a ride. And I could hear in his voice, he was like, you know, F you, dude, you know, don't talk to me that way or whatever. And he stuck it out, and he's won a race. I think he's only ridden maybe 5 or 6 times, and he won a race because he stuck with it. But if you sit around and hope, you know, something's going to fall in your lap, I mean, it doesn't work that way. Not in the real world. So you have to get out and go get it. So, yeah, I mean, that lady, she is light enough. She has the right size to be a great writer. She just has to work on herself. I mean, there's ways if you want to do it. There's always ways, but you have to have that passion. Look, Tashawn Hazelwood, passionate writer. Rocco Bowen, passionate writer. Those guys will write for free. You know what I mean? That they love the game so much, and I don't know if other writers have that burning desire. They may want to be writers. I mean, between you and I and everybody else listening, I never had that desire as a writer. I like writing, but I would diet. I'll put in all the work, but I mean, Hazelwood thinks about horses all the time. Rocco thinks about horses all the time.
He's telling me.
You know, I had side interests. I had other stuff that I would do. You know, I mean, now as an adult, I probably put in more work now than I did years ago. But you know, I'm not making excuses. I'm not saying I would not diet and, you know, be there every morning. But it was more like, oh, I got to get up and go to work. It was an excitement, you know.
Right.
And you know, but those guys, they have more passion than I do. I mean, I would tell people that writing fell into my lap. I'm trying to think when I decided I wanted to be a jockey. But it wasn't a burning desire from a kid. I used to teach riding and love horses, and it just happened, you know. It wasn't something I set out to do. Now, at the twilight of my life, I'm setting out to do stuff. I'm making plans. You know, I'm setting the foundation that I'll do stuff. But before, it was just, you know, roll into it. Okay, I got to go beg for rides. Let's go do it. It wasn't a real plan, you know.
I guess it must have been a lot of excitement during that time, during that period of time in your life.
when I was a rider, yeah, I mean, the excitement was there. You get on nice horses, and those keep you coming back. But the burning desire that I see some of these kids having, I never had that desire. You know.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting, Darwin, because I met it was like two little kids. I'm telling you, these kids they had to be under. I'm not gonna lie to you. They had to be under 16 years old. I met these at Woodbine Racetrack, and I was going up the escalator, and they were going up the escalator, and they say, "Hey, I know you." They say they recognize me from YouTube, so forth, right?
Mhm.
Two Barbadian youngsters, and I said, "What you guys doing here?" And they said, they're just checking it out. They want to be writers too.
Okay.
They're small. They're small. I can tell that they want to be jockeys because they're not
Right.
dressed fancy or anything. They just got on like they're ready to ride.
Right.
They're checking out everything, and I thought that was quite amazing. Just seeing these kids. They just come and checking out the scene. I say, look, let me get your name. I forgot now. I probably noted it somewhere, but I was like, let me get your names because I might be watching you guys in a few years. And just say hello to them, and they went off, and I'm pretty sure these guys are gonna do well. I can tell that kind of enthusiasm.
In 1987, I went to Jamaica to ride in the Red Stripe Super Stakes, and I always had a weight problem, and I was out running, and I caught up with this kid that was running. Started a conversation, and turned out that he was about to go into the jockey school, this, that, whatever. And he was dressed, he was sweating, and I was thinking, oh my God, that's dedication. He hasn't made it yet, but he's still getting into the school, and that always stuck with me, always, always. And over the past years, I was thinking, I wonder if he ever made it. I wonder, if he's one of the names I'm hearing, whatever. But yeah, I never had that burning desire. I was just a good writer, you know,
Uh,
and dominate like what you call show jumping and that kind of stuff. But the jockey thing just kind of morph into that. It was just like, okay, what do I do next? And I was small enough, so I started writing. But yeah.
you know, I want to ask you something real serious because you know I think it's about time I ask you this, and I mean it's been a while, but you know it's just that I don't I don't know what happened, but I want to ask you this because what happened to you and Sean Hall, man?
So
I mean, and
okay,
I gotta give more to this
all
because,
right. I'll give you the story. I'll give you the exact story. Right?
but I gotta give you more before you dive in because you
Okay.
guys were friends for a lot of years, and I met you through Sean Hall, and I'm just wondering, like, what the hell happened?